Alright, so we discussed a very good remedy, polycrest like remedy, which is Konayam a few days ago, and in the last Allen's keynote study streak. And today we'll discuss a remedy known as asteria rubens. So, very similar picture of Konayam is present in asteria rubens, especially from the pathological point of view. And if you wish to cure pathological cases, you will need to know all the smaller remedies, because unless otherwise the polycrest remedies will take some time to heal. It will take the pathological drainage of the organs to heal, and that's where you need all the smaller and specific remedies. Asteria is a remedy which will be suitable for psychotic diathesis, flabby lymphatic constitution, and irritable temperament. Going forward with Konam, we have an easily excited state from least emotions or least contradictions, like the remedy anacardium and Konam. Heat is there of the head, especially as if surrounded by hot air. Now, this is a very vague sensation, very less times patients will be able to express this. Sanguineous congestion of the brain, apoplexy, face red, pulse is hard, full, frequent. So, whenever you have patients of stroke, whenever you have patients of convulsions, do check the pulse, do check the temperature on the forehead, on the hands, feet, legs, different parts of the body, urine complaints, their sensorium, and maybe chances are that you will get the remedy from Allen's keynotes itself rather than venturing anywhere else. Epilepsy, twitching over the whole body 4 or 5 days before the attack. So one of the interesting things of managing complaints which are periodic in nature, for example epilepsy, for example fevers, for example different types of cramps, or some complaints related to urinary disturbances, menstrual troubles, etc., etc. You will need to observe and ask the patient what happens before the episode begins. And here in Asteria rubens, there is twitching over the whole body 4 or 5 days before the attack. So if you have attended pediatric OPDs, you will see that there are children who get certain twitch on one side of the body or face, and then they get the epilepsy, Jacksonian march of epilepsy, one-sidedness of symptoms. Asteria rubens can be given a thought. Veratrum viridi is another remedy which can be given a thought. Constipation is there in Asteria rubens, obstinate, ineffectual desire, stools like round, hard balls like olives. Diarrhea is there, which is watery, brown, gushing out in a violent jet, protontic, gratiola, gambogia, jatropa, ithuja. Many remedies have this type of diarrhea. So, asteria cannot be indicated for only the diarrhea state per se, but there has to be some other components of the remedy in the patient. For example, it can be the nervous twitching, because it's a nervous remedy if you see, and it will be some sort of nervous system related disturbance with the gastric disturbance. Next you have is female reproductive system, cancer of the mammary. We saw this in Konayam and all the psychotic remedies. Over here in Asteria rubens, there is acute lancinating pain, drawing pain in the breast, swollen, distended as before the menses, breast feels drawn in. A livid red spot appeared before appeared and broke and discharged, gradually invaded the entire breast, very fetid odor, edges pale, elevated, hard, everted, and bottom covered with reddish granulations. So there will be patients who will have this type of induration, and then they will progress to infiltration of that part. The organ will react in that way, where it is going to invade the other parts of the body from that part which is affected. In those cases, you can think of asteria rubens, especially if it is cancer of mammary or an ulcer or a part which has broken and causing similar malignancy which is explained. Sexual desire is increased in women. Lilium tigrinum is another remedy mentioned. We saw this in many remedies. Asteria rubens can be one of the remedies indicated for such states. And next you have is extremities. As I told you earlier, remedy Asteria rubens is belonging to the nervous system. It especially acts on the nervous system. Gait is unsteady, muscles refuse to obey the will. Alumina and gelsemium are the two remedies which are very similar. Asteria rubens can be one of the remedies. Do a thorough neurological checkup, and if you find that this is the problem of the local muscles, you can think of Asteria rubens as a remedy. Asteria rubens as a remedy is very similar to Murex and Sepia, and you can compare this remedy with Carboanimalis, Conaim, Silica in memory abscess or memory cancers, and Belladonna, Calcarea carb, and sulfur in epilepsy. So here's my take. If you're giving calcarea, sulfur, or a deeper recting remedy in the epilepsy cases, and you need a specific remedy for acute stages, Asteria rubens is going to be one of the remedies. If there is a case of pathological manifestations with memory abscess or memory tumor, Asteria rubens will be one of the remedies you can give as an intercurrent or to drain the local organ of the deceased cells or the changed cells, and it can probably push the patient towards healing rather than delaying the healing by a variety of factors which involve these pathological states. So that's what a very short and simple session on HDA rubens. Do mention in the comments about how you like this session, and if you have used this remedy, let me know in the comments below.